Yo, what's up everybody? It's your boy Floss, back again with another video. And I'm making this vlog real quick just to give y'all my thoughts on the HTC 10. Now shout out to everybody who watch my videos. You see me review the G5, and at the end of the video I was like, RIP HTC. Well, I was trolling with that, but I gotta be 100% honest with y'all. I am not blown away by the HTC 10. Now look, if you like me and you had the HTC M7 and the M8 and the M9, then you're gonna be a little bit disappointed with the HTC 10 because there's no real innovation going on. All right, now keep in mind, I don't have the phone yet. This is not a review. I'm just going by what I've read and what I've seen so far online, and honestly, I'm not blown away. But you do got some pros and cons. All right, so let's talk about the pros real quick. Now, you got Qualcomm Quick Charge 3.0. That's a win. HTC claims that you can charge your phone from 0 to 50% in 13 minutes. That's major right there. I'm definitely feeling that. You got your micro SD card slot, all right, or slot, depending on where you're from. I like that too. You got the fingerprint sensor on the front of the phone. Best possible placement. They brought back the touch capacitive buttons. I like that too. Now, as far as the display, they still going with IPS, LCD. All right, cool. But they claim now it's more colorful, and look, I don't care about all that stuff. They do say that it is 30% more touch responsive than anything else on the market, so we're gonna have to put that to the test. But the main thing that HTC is claiming that's an upgrade from your M9 is the camera. So now you still got the 12 ultra pixels with the f.18 aperture lens. Didn't really work out too good with the M9, but we'll see. They had all this time to play with this phone and redefine it. And this is why I'm kind of disappointed, because all of this time, all of this market research, all of this research and development, all of these spam emails that I get, and I'm pretty sure y'all get too, with the customer surveys, what could HTC do to make the phone better? All of this time, look how long it's been since the last flagship HTC phone. That was last year. And you mean to tell me this is the best they could come up with? I'm a little bit disappointed. And personally, I think it's going to be a hard sell for HTC to make a comeback into the phone game and be on top of the game. Now, they could come back into the game, but they're not going to be on the top. Think about it like this. All right, this is why I say this is going to be a hard sell. Think about, maybe you got a Galaxy S4 or LG G3, maybe a Nexus 5 you had for the last 2 years, and now it's time for an upgrade. So when you go in the store, you're going to have to go into the store, you're going to have to walk past the Galaxy Note 5, which everybody knows is pretty much the best all-around phone, in my opinion, because of the S Pen. I'm a sucker for that S Pen, but whatever, we could argue that later. You got to walk past the Galaxy Note 5, and even if you think the Galaxy Note 5 is too big for you, fine. You're going to have to walk past the Galaxy S7 and the S7 Edge, waterproof phones. They do have micro SD card slots on them. You get the newest Android version, all of the multitasking and all of the Samsung features, and you also get the Samsung ecosystem. So if you're into the VR and you're into the Samsung watches, the tablets and all that, everything gonna tie together, but you're gonna have to walk past that. So you're gonna have to walk past those 3 top dog Galaxy phones. You're gonna have to walk past the Nexus 6P, which everybody knows, stock Android, you're getting all them updates. That's a major phone right there. Big giant display, AMOLED, big AMOLED display. You have to walk past that. You're gonna have to walk past the LG G5, which to me now, y'all see my review, there was a lot of stuff I don't like, but that's one of my top 5 phones right now, the G5. The camera alone is banging. Only thing I will say I don't like about the G5, which I can say I really hate about the G5, is the display. It's too dim. There's an easy fix, you just turn the display up, but when you do that, you kill the battery fast. So, whatever but that's workarounds, but still, you're gonna have to walk past that. You're gonna have to walk past the iPhone 6, the 6S and the 6S Plus. You're gonna have to walk past both of those phones, and everybody knows I don't have to go into a big soliloquy of why people buy iPhones. It's the iPhone. It's the most trendy phone. You're buying into the ecosystem. Everybody knows the iPhone is super smooth. You got 1,000,001 apps. You're gonna have to walk past all of those phones and say, you know what, I want this HTC 10. And I think that's gonna be a hard sell. Now look, I don't understand why HTC refuses to be innovative. Now, some people could look at it like this. The last time HTC was really innovative was with the HTC Evo 3D. And in my personal opinion, that was one of my favorite phones. I still got that phone to this day, but that phone was kind of limited because you could take all the pictures you want in 3D and you could look at them in 3D on your phone, but the problem was you can't share them to nobody else unless they had an Evo 3D. Now, I was lucky enough at the time, my girl had one, a lot of my boys had them, so we was going crazy with the 3D photos. It was a lot of fun, but it didn't really pick up in the market like that, and a lot of people called that phone a flop, and that was HTC's chance at being innovative, and they said, you know what, let's stick to what we know. Great build quality, great speakers, and a smooth UI, and they came out with the Evo 4G LTE. They said, let's be safe than sorry, take it back to what we know. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Now, that motto works in a lot of aspects in life, but you can't just stick to that motto forever. Even a company like Apple, they learned that you can't just come out with one phone every season. You can't do that. And Apple is one of the most stubborn companies. Y'all know about Apple. Apple is phone thugs. You know, they come out with a product, buy my shit. That's how Apple works. This is what we selling this, you buying this as is, not too many customizations, not too many features and all kind of crazy options. Here's our iPhone, you like it, buy it. All right, that's it. Even a company with Apple's mindset, they did the market research. They know that a lot of people got tired of these small phones. We live in a social media age. Everybody's online all day long, online shopping, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You know, everything is online, YouTube videos all day. A lot of people, I would say half of the market wants bigger phones. So even a company like Apple said, you know what, we're gonna have to break out of our mold, come out of our comfort zone. We're gonna come out with the 6 and the 6 Plus. Two phones drop on the same day. Now we could have both of our feet in the water. All right, HTC, what are y'all doing? You know, think about it like this. If you want to get your feet wet, that's all this phone game is, about getting your feet wet. When you go to the pool and you want to get your feet wet, do you sit on the side of the pool and put one foot in the pool and leave the other foot on the side dry? You don't do that. When you want to get your feet wet, you go to the pool and you put both of your feet in the water. And that, I don't understand why HTC refuses to do that. Now, they did come out with the HTC, remember the M9 Plus or whatever y'all want to call it, but it didn't come out in the States. So that's, you know, that's really irrelevant to all of us that live in the States. Why come out with a bigger phone that we can't get? Makes no sense. I don't know who they got working at HTC, but if I was working there, I would have told them, look, we could come out with the HTC 10. People that like small phones and build quality on phones, they're gonna buy this. As long as the camera's up to par, the processor's up to par, the UI is super smooth, and we're gonna promise them updates gonna be flowing. You could come out with the HTC 10 at 5.2 inches, but you're gonna have to come out with a HTC 10 Plus, maybe 5.7 inches, maybe even go crazy and do 6 inches. Do a 6-inch HTC 10 Plus, and this way now you can have choices. People that like big phones, people that had Galaxy Notes and Google Nexus 6, you know, big screen phones like that, they not leaving that phone to go to a phone that's 5.2 inches. They not doing that. You need to come out with two phones. Now, HTC tried that in the past. They came out with the HTC One Max. That was one of my favorite phones, but HTC, they skimped out with the processor. All right, so the phone, the HTC M8 was out at the time. Instead of using the same processor on the One Max, they used last year's processor. So the phone, it didn't run the same, especially people that had both. It didn't run the same, and the main drawback to that phone was the camera. That's why I had to retire my One Max. The camera was trash. And I told some of y'all that watch Amazon Warrior, y'all heard the story before, but the day that I had to retire my HTC One Max, I was chilling on Lakewood Avenue. I had a bunch of phones on me, but I only had the HTC One Max in my pocket. I jumped out on Lakewood to go to the gyro spot, and these two dudes getting ready to start fighting. Now it's the middle of the night. I'm like, oh shit, World Star. Let me pull out my phone. I'm gonna record this. And I pulled out my HTC One Max at nighttime, and I shot the video. It was a little scuffle, nothing really major. It was a little funny, you know, two drunk nigga fight. That was cool. But the problem was when I got back in the car and I said, let me watch this video, you couldn't see nothing. Anybody who had the HTC One Max, y'all can agree with me, the camera on it was straight garbage. Straight garbage. So that's another time that HTC said, you know what, we're going to try to be innovative, and we're going to try to put both feet in the water. We're going to come out with an M8 and a HTC One Max. But instead of coming out equally, you came out with the M8 super strong, and came out with the HTC One Max on some half-ass, you know, half-hearted effort. And that's why it didn't sell like that. And again, that's why HTC is like, you know what, let's just be safe, you know, then sorry. Let's just keep coming out with the same style phone over and over and over. And that ain't gonna work, man. That ain't gonna work. That doesn't really work with anything in life. Look at cars. Look, you could go out and get a 2003 Ferrari. In 2003, that was the shit. In 2003, 2004, 2005, that Ferrari was the shit. They can't just say, you know what, every year, since this is the shit, we're just going to keep pumping out the same Ferrari. After a while, you're going to have to change the shape of it. You're going to have to add more stuff. You're going to have to even subtract some stuff. People are going to be mad, but you're going to have to subtract some stuff to move forward. You ever heard that saying, sometimes you got to take one step backwards in order to move two steps forward? That's the same thing that Apple is doing right now. A lot of people, you know, they coming down on Apple because supposedly the new iPhone 7, they getting rid of the headphone jack. Look, at some point, you're gonna have to be innovative, and you're gonna have to take a chance and do something different. Personally, if I had to give an award to the most innovative phone of the year so far, it would be the LG G5. Now, you gotta, whether you hate LG or love them, you gotta take your hat off to LG, because look how innovative they are. Look how they trying to do something different. If they wanted to, the LG G4 was a go, and the V10 was a go. So if LG really wanted to, you know, be just like HTC, they could have said, look, we're coming out with the LG G5. It's going to look just like the V10, but we'll put the dual cameras on the back. We'll add the always on display. We'll give them the IR blaster. We'll give them the removable battery. And here you go. Here's the G5. Here's the G5. They could have just did that, and people that love LG would have bought that phone. But they took a chance. They said, you know what? Let's change this up. Let's come out with the unibody design that separates at the bottom. We'll turn this into the modular phone. We'll come out with some modules and all of that. Now, whether that's going to be a big hit or not, that remains to be seen. But the point is, they took a chance. They're being innovative, and that's what people respect about some of these phone companies, the innovation. You got to try something different. So, with all that said, HTC, not too innovative. Now, I'm not going to say you basically buying the same phone twice for people that already have an M9, but you're buying a phone that has minimum upgrades. Right? You still don't got no wireless charging. You still don't have a removable battery. The phone's not waterproof. And, you know, look, now, for me, I don't really care about that, but that's a big deal for a lot of people, especially people that dropped their phone in water and had to come out with $700-800 for a new phone. Waterproof feature is something that they're going to be interested in. Now, when you argue with somebody about HTC phones, the main thing they're going to tell you is build quality, build quality, build quality. But that runs thin after a while, because no matter what you do, at some point, you're going to have to drop a case on that phone, whether you like it or not. Some point or another, you're going to want to go to the gym. You're going to want to go bike riding. You're going to want to play some sports. You're going to want to be out in the real world. You're going to have to put a case on that phone, or else your phone's going to end up looking like shit. Now, I know a lot of people that don't use cases, and regardless of if the screen is not broken or not, just by putting the phone in your pocket, putting it on your table, putting it here and there, sooner or later, you're going to start getting scratches on the phone. You know, it's going to get dirty. After a while, your phone's going to look like shit. That's why I always use cases on all of my phones. Now, people watch my videos and they see me slamming the phones down. I get 1,000 comments every week. People telling me, oh, you need to learn how to take care of the phone, and you need this and that. But people don't realize that I've been buying and selling and trading phones for the last 20 years. I know exactly what I'm doing, and anybody that want to challenge me Sunday night on Amazon Warrior, feel free. When I do the phone calls, y'all can challenge me. I can pull out any one of my phones right now. I can wipe it down, put it back in the box, and sell it as barely used. None of my phones look like shit because I use cases. So that build quality argument, you can't really focus on that too much, because at some point or another you're going to use a case. So don't just go out and buy a phone just solely because of the build quality. Now, I will say HTC, they hit it on the head with the build quality. I love the build on that. You know, and look, I'm not sitting here trying to bash HTC, because people that really watch my videos, look, you got to pay homage to HTC. HTC had the first real Android phone. Now everybody knows the Hero, that was a little suspect. The G1 was garbage. The HTC Evo was the first Android phone that really showcased the power of Android. That was the first phone that people really started rooting and throwing the custom ROMs on. That was the big screen phone at the time, and it was an HTC. So I got a special love for HTC in my heart, and I always loved HTC, even with the Touch Pro 2. Remember the HTC Windows phones, the HTC, back in the days I had HTC from day one. So I'm not bashing HTC, but my main gripe with them is they're not too innovative. Now, I looked online, did a little research. They said they're selling the unlocked version of the HTC 10 for basically $800 and change. Again, for $800, all of these phones out here in the market that you're going to have to pass up to get an HTC 10, especially if you plan on keeping it for 2 years. I don't see that happening, and I'm real curious to see the numbers. I'm curious to see the sales numbers after maybe 1 quarter after the release. Then we'll see. I could be wrong, but I think that it's going to be a tough sell for HTC. I don't think that this phone is going to put them out of business, but it's definitely not going to shoot them to the top of the phone game. Definitely not. All right, so that's my thoughts on the HTC 10. I will get it anyway. I will get it because I'm not just going to sit here and talk shit all night. I will get the phone. I'm going to be 100% unbiased. I'm going into it with an open mind. I actually want it to be a go. But at 5.2 inches, I already know that could never be my primary go-to phone. It's just too small. It's too small. But we'll see. I'm going to go into it with an open mind, and we'll see if we can make it work. Anyway, what else? Now, I'm just leaving the gym. Let's take a little ride. Let me get up out of here. I did want to talk to y'all about something else too. Last night, I did a review for that Monster Rockin Roller 2. I forgot to mention this in the video, but that speaker, maybe I did mention it. That speaker is banging, all right? Now, it's not the loudest. It doesn't have the most bass in the world, but that is the perfect speaker for the outdoor summertime parties. Why? Look at the price of it. All right, it's only 165 bucks. So that's one of those speakers that you could leave on the side of the house or in front of the house in the backyard for the barbecue. You don't gotta have your laser beam focus on it. Now you take your Monster Blaster outside for 500 bucks. When you gotta go inside to use the bathroom, you gotta be telling somebody keep an eye on that speaker. Keep an eye on that speaker, or don't put no food next to the speaker. Don't put no water next to the speaker. You gotta be kind of more on guard because that's a $500 speaker that you gotta really babysit. When you got a speaker like that Rockin Roller 2, that's one of those speakers that put it right in front of the house and let it rock. Somebody spill a beer on it, who cares? Somebody want to roll it to the backyard, go ahead, roll it. Disappear for a couple of minutes, who cares? Like, that is a great speaker. I was using it. I was using it today. I did a little outdoor video. With we'll talk about that later. I'll talk about that on Sunday night. Did a little outdoor video, and I had to speak outside, and it actually sounds a little bit better outside than it did inside. So that speaker was tough. Let's go. What else? Amazon Warrior on Sunday night. Shout out to everybody that was in that stream. I did the giveaway. I didn't get around to hitting anybody back yet. All right, but I will get into that. I want to say Saturday night. I've just been mad busy this whole week, so I didn't get around to email anybody. But that's why, even though I was kind of tipsy that night, I wasn't that drunk. I wrote everybody's Instagram name on the box that they actually won. So don't worry. This week, I'm going to be contacting you through Instagram. I'm going to give you my email address. All you got to do is email me your address. I'm going to pin all of them. It should be 10 addresses altogether. I'm going to pin all of them in one separate folder. And when I go to Staples, maybe on Sunday or maybe Saturday night, I'll go to Staples and I'll get those in the mail for y'all. Anyway, that's pretty much it. I got a few more videos we're going to get into this week. And that's it. Now, I'm just going to cruise up out of here. Let me stop talking. Let me let y'all catch that. I want to get some cruise music. We'll get some cruise music. That's it for the talk. This just some bonus V10 sounds for y'all hardcore car enthusiasts. Oh yeah, okay, tomorrow night, we got the Times Square cruise. I'll DM all of my real car dudes and we'll get into that. But tomorrow night we're gonna be out of Times Square, so get them car washes ready. Traffic. It's your boy Floss, I'm out. Deuces.